We're heading over to Madison today, going on a little day adventure, taking his parents out to a nice little steakhouse for a brunch lunch situation. And then we're hoping to get to walk around the city of Madison. There are so many cute shops, antique stores, boutiques, all the above, and neither of us have been in a long time. Obviously, Sam is up there all the time for work reasons, but we don't ever get to enjoy it, so that's what we're gonna do is actually go enjoy the city itself. Then on the way back home, we're gonna go check on the barn because the in-laws' barn is actually being built. Last time we saw it, they had all the trusses up and the framing done, but I don't think we've seen anything else. I think the roof might be done already, and there's a chance the siding might be done. So we'll take you guys along for that and see what we get up to. Like this was a lot cuter in my head, but cute and comfy. So like, I just got this with my grandmother the other day, but it's kind of an off-the-shoulder top. You can wear it open. Well, I'll probably keep it tied, honestly, because I just feel more comfortable that way. But we're walking a bunch, hence the tennis shoes. We are about to head out to Madison in just a second. We are back on our way over to Madison, Indiana to share this with the in-laws. Well, I shouldn't say share. They actually are the ones that introduced us to Madison, I believe 3 or so years ago, back when they had their RV. We had stayed over in Carrollton, Kentucky and traveled into Madison for the day. But we all just have really fallen in love with this town and wanted to go and explore it together as they haven't had a chance to come up in quite some time, and honestly neither have I. Granted, Sam's here every day, but that's how we ended up finding the steakhouse that was serving their brunch menu we wanted to share with them, which honestly was all so delectable. But more than anything, especially what my mother-in-law was looking forward to, was really just getting to walk around the town, take in all the fun, cute architecture. It is a very old, historic-looking town for the most part, especially when you are more so in old Madison down by the river. And she loves wandering around, checking out all of the little boutiques, all the antique stores, little coffee shops, etc. And this town is honestly just notorious, as you see, for having so many little events and going all out for basically all holidays and seasons of the year. I will say this juicer, I do want one. Like, yeah, it even has the measuring cups on it. It's like a 2-for-1. How much is? Not bad. That is me. We are currently wandering around the Old Time Market, which is a small little boutique here, and I did in fact walk out with these solid iron horse hooks. I think there will be a place somewhere in the future, but I will say this entire shop was quite beautiful, quite tempting. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to come back at some point when we actually maybe have a home more so to furnish, but I'll have to be reasonable about it. And then the last place you're seeing here is actually called the Spirit Horse Gallery. She is a local artist that actually lives above her shop here that does a lot of jewelry and leather making and such. And actually did patronize her by buying this beautiful solid copper bracelet that I still love. Oh, I just am a sucker. Sucker. Next up on our adventure is the Lanthier Winery. I always hope I'm saying that right. I still to this day don't know how they want you to pronounce it. But it's this gorgeous little winery that is produced here in Indiana. This is their retail shop, and obviously you can walk out with a whole plethora of different options. They've started dabbling in some gin from what we've seen as well. But one of the things that we kind of fell in love with, outside of course just doing their tasting, on our very first trip here, we actually came out with these little wine slushies because it was peak summer at that point in time, and we took it down to the river bank as we are now and just walked the river enjoying a nice beverage. And quite frankly, this really soaking up all this small town has to offer. I genuinely think it is good for almost any and every person, whether you're someone that has young kids, whether maybe you're a little bit older, don't have as much mobility to some degree. There's things for everyone, and of course they do have public transit, which is what that tram was that you saw coming down. It doesn't always run, but it does quite a bit from what I've noticed. But all in all, quite frankly, I could almost consider seeing us living here, especially for Sam's work situation, if things were different. Truly, there is something so very special about this town. It's very hard to put it to words. It just feels like you've traveled somewhere, even though it's a 30-minute drive or so from Louisville, depending on which way you take and where you are. That, and I feel like there's just a little bit of something for everyone. There's history, there's architecture, there's all these little shops for kids, there's the boutiques. Name it, you have it. So if you're ever looking for something to do from Louisville, I highly suggest considering Madison, Indiana. But with that said, that now takes us back to our farm visit. As I told you guys, we were stopping by because, as you see, the in-laws barn is in the process of being built, so we wanted to check on how that was going, and also, of course, just set eyes on the farm. We don't always get to come out here every single week, even though we wish that we could. And then as a little treat to ourselves afterwards, we ended up actually swinging over to Jericho, Kentucky. So a bunch of little small town tours today here in Kentucky. But Jericho has this ice cream shop. I don't know if it is the Jericho ice cream shop, if that's the name or not. But they sell local homegrown meat from their farm. They sell homemade ice cream from their dairy cattle. Unbelievable, quite frankly. So if you're ever looking for something else to patronize in terms of small, locally grown farm goods, Jericho, I believe Farmhouse is the place to go. That brings us into this next morning, and I'll kind of leave us here. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Haven't spoken to you guys yet today, but this morning I'm just having a slower morning. I had my first client at 9 a.m. Have a little bit of a break until my next one here in about 40 minutes, so I have some time to myself. So I've just been soaking up this time, doing a little bit of journaling because I just have so many thoughts, honestly, to catch up on. I feel like if you're anything like me, sometimes you'll just make notes to yourself in your calendar in the notes section of your phone, and I would much rather have it written in just one singular place because I've certainly lost data from my phone before. Then, of course, I'm also trying to catch up on drinking my coffee because I'm the world's slowest coffee drinker, so it's been made for at least 3 hours now, and I'm still sipping on it. So that is my plan for now. I am treating my mom to dinner later tonight, which means ideally after I'm done with all my clients, I need to run over to the grocery store or maybe a local florist to go get her another bouquet of tulips, as those are her absolute favorite flower in the whole wide world. So I'm going to pick her up some of those, and I'll take you guys through all the fun of making her some garlic parsley pasta with some homemade Alfredo, trying to make some homemade bread, and then of course the chicken and crispy broccoli that we're pairing with it. That is my plans for today. I also wanted to pop on here, simply because this was an encouragement to me to go out of your way to do kind things when you can, whether that's for friends, family, or a neighbor. Our sweet neighbor next door, one, I'm surprised she even knows my name because we haven't really ever spoken, other than of course maybe the in-laws speaking with them on a more regular basis, but she literally yelled out to me by name and encouraged me and almost demanded me to take some of her peonies off of her. And I just felt so incredibly blessed that that was such a kind gesture, because that was the day that I was having, not a harder day, but I was just stuck in my thoughts, as I'm sure plenty of other people can relate to that. And I've also been wanting to get myself some peonies for a while, but I just couldn't bring myself to drive over to Trader Joe's, and I especially just didn't really want to spend money on it, because right now we're trying to not spend money excessively, as we try to save up, of course, for building and just future purposes. And I already got a dollar bouquet earlier this week, so it felt like an unnecessary treat to go get this. So when she yelled out and just ever so kindly gave me these drop-dead gorgeous peonies, it just absolutely made my day. So if you can do something like that for friends or family, anyone quite frankly, I encourage you to do so. That made my day, and I try to do my best to do that for others too. But my last little tangent that I wanted to speak on before I need to get back to just making the most of this time before I have my next client, so I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys have a beautiful day until we speak next. I'm actually coming to you for my lunch break because I actually got a delivery from American Eagle. I have not bought something for them in forever, and it wasn't even supposed to come in until next week. So I got 2 dresses, same exact dress, just 2 different colors. This is primarily because I was given a gift card, well not really a gift card, but I was given money that can be directed towards American Eagle. So I figured, might as well use it. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, this said it was blue. That looks a little bit more mint green, at least in person. We'll see. This feels a little too bright for my comfort zone of colors, but I'm gonna try it on and find out. And then I'm sure someone would probably say this is still equally as bright, but this is the one that I was actually intending to possibly purchase. And that is this rust color. Just because I think honestly you can pull this off in spring or summer. Well, actually, looking at this on camera, I think I might actually like the other one better for color tones. We'll see, but let's try these on. Alright, so this is unfortunately the best I can do in terms of setting up my tripod somewhere in this room. So, here's dress 1. I think the cut is very flattering, and I think I like the color. We'll see. There's a chance I might actually end up liking this more. I feel like this one's more springy, this one can fly for, honestly, spring all the way through fall. Maybe that's just me. So let's try on the other one and see what we think. Alright, so here is option number 2. I actually don't know which color I like better. So, here's the blue. What do we think? Like, if I just think about myself, I'm probably more likely to honestly pick the rust than I am to wear this, but I think I do like the colors. Let me know your thoughts. Honestly, probably by the time you see this, I've already sent one of them back, unless Sam just really convinces me to keep both. Another thing I wanted to mention too, that's a huge win for this dress, is that it is in fact double lined, which I feel like most dresses like this aren't. Can you tell that there's 2 different pieces there? So I really love that. It just makes you feel more secure. I'm always the person that wears like shorts and sliders under their dresses, even if they are maxi, but do you like the extra layer of protection? Alright guys, I wanted to pop on here real quick and show you the 2 things that I picked up with my grandmother, and or I should say my grandmother very kindly gifted to me. But first is this little cardigan that has this little bow detail right here. I have intentions, I have a dress, well a couple dresses actually in my closet that I think this would go great over as like a little shawl situation. But I'm actually surprised that I think it's very cute with jeans as well. So this is option 1. Again, it looks so handmade, and this is kind of out of my comfort zone, but I also actually really love it. And right now, believe it or not, I just have it paired with a sports bra. This is probably not how I would typically wear it. I do have like some half tanks that I'd probably wear it with more stuff. I was wearing jeans, but regardless, very cute, very, I don't even know what season this is. Any summer but winter maybe? I don't know, I love it. I think it's adorable. I want to throw on the dress that I think it might look really good on top of real quick and show you guys that before I show you the dress that I picked up with her. Alright guys, so this, which I'm now realizing you cannot see the whole dress of course, is the dress option that I was going to pair with it simply because it has the same color tone in both the arms and the stitching as the dress does itself. And this is a dress that actually can be worn strapless if you tuck in the top sections. And I think the straps are just honestly too tight to be worn how it was intended to, so I really like it like this. Here, let's go out to the living room real quick and we can see what you think out here. So that brings us to the dress option I actually picked up with her. My favorite thing, aside from of course just the floral itself, is the little tie details on the shoulder. I've actually been wanting a dress like this for so long, And it kind of has a fun little tiered aspect too that I really love. Again, I'll have to probably show you this out there, that way you can have a better full picture of it. But I am very pleased with both of these finds, and believe it or not, they're both from Francesca's, which is not a store that I've shopped at since I was in high school. And I would say even still, maybe it's just me, but I feel like a lot of their clothing still fit for someone in their late 20s. So it's worth checking out, and then please excuse my horrendous tan line from farming days, but has a nice little back detail as well. So I love this. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is it actually is ruched back here, so it can fit, let's say, a growing chest, or let's say if you were trying to get pregnant and or anticipating pregnancy in your near future, I think it would actually probably acclimate to a belly decently well. I mean, I have no idea. Obviously, I'm not trying to get pregnant, nor have I ever been pregnant, but just something worth keeping in mind. I'm getting up into older 20s, and therefore that's now honestly pertinent to me that I don't want to have to purchase things that aren't going to be suitable for my lifestyle going forward. So most of the clothes that I own or I'm trying to obtain, if I am actually searching for anything, are going to be eventual bump friendly, because that's honestly going to be my next decade of life here in a couple of years, probably. But that is all for now. Wanted to show you guys these because I think they're absolutely adorable. And I am going to probably go get bread going because I meant to start it yesterday. I fed my starter. It was very happy and I should have made it into initial bread loaves, but I did not. So, got to do that now before it gets too angry with me, and I think I already need to feed it again. So, let's do that. Well, hope you don't mind a little fast track jump scare, if you will. So, obviously it didn't film me getting the bread loaves going. Didn't really have time between work and all that to get those loaves made and ready for dinner tonight, but I did of course have this pasta made the night before, so it's been resting ready to go. So it is a garlic herb, what will be fettuccine pasta made into a homemade Alfredo from my mom, alongside of some spiced crispy broccoli, and then of course just some good old grilled chicken that Sam was helping me with, since this has taken a little bit more time than I really intended it to. But I will say, for some reason I have this habit every single time that I make homemade pasta that I make enough to feed at least 8. Like, there was only 5 of us at this point in time. I could have easily made a lot less than I had, but I always make sure people want seconds if they have the ability to do so. But the funny thing about homemade pasta is it's just so much more rich and filling than regular old pasta. You can't usually eat the same portion that I find that she would if it was like dried pasta, for example. But regardless, the whole point of this was just as a treat and a thank you to my mom, kind of as essentially a way belated Mother's Day situation, but also just to spend time with family again. We're back home, we're in town, want to make the most of it, since at some point we'll be kind of moving a little bit farther away back out to where our farm is. So we were just soaking in all this time with them and talking and chatting as we were, so that's part of the reason why the volume's not on for this clip. But with that being said, we had a lovely night, and the next day, my mother-in-law, again, more family time, actually went out to TJ Maxx. So that's what you're about to see, is a little try-on clip, which I ended up walking away from with, and then just some chatty catch-up. Okay, so the one thing I did talk myself out of at TJ Maxx was a new tablecloth, because somehow in cleaning this one, I think it got too hot, and the little metallic fibers that runs through it, I think overheated and caused these almost burn marks on it. But mother-in-law said not to, because she has a plethora upstairs from her mom and her grandmother. So I have a little collection here I wanted to show you guys. This one is by far, I think, actually my favorite. It is so beyond precious. And it is hand done. So all these little applications throughout both sides were done, she believes, by her grandmother. So this one would be reserved for special occasions. I don't know if it's going to fit our table. It's more so meant for like an oval oblong table. We'll see. These are a little bit more everyday. So this one's very similar in what we currently have, and it's also very spring-like, which I like. So it's a little beige checkered. Again, it's mostly just in texture. It's not really in color, which I love. So we're going to try that one out. This one, I will say, is a little bit more on grandma side of things, just a little bit, but I do like it. It actually reminds me of stuff that my grandmother, whose house we're going out to here soon, that she would put out, but it's very spring-like. So if you can see, It has these little flower details on it. I don't know how well it's shown up on camera, unfortunately. I'm trying to get a better shot for you. But it's very fun, very springy. This one I think is on the smaller side, but I think it could be fun to possibly layer on top of this one. And then lastly, that brings us to this tablecloth, which again, may or may not be long enough. It's very simple. It does have a nice little detail here in terms of a little ribbing. I guess you would call it a little eyelet detail. I think I actually have matching napkins to this somewhere in our storage unit. But we're gonna try these out real quick, see if any of these actually fit, and or if we can figure out ways to kind of layer them to make them look proper. So I'm gonna start with that green one just because I think that one's more than likely not gonna fit. Okay, I think no matter what we do, this one's gonna be, unfortunately, way, way too small. Really, you guys? Sam. I think we're gonna have the same problem probably with this one too. Yep, it's gonna be short. Alright, well, strike two. Alright, time for the special one. Let's see if this actually works. Oh, there might be a chance. No. So close. Oh, that's so sad. Look at the beauty on this one. Alright. Unfortunately, strike three. I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, I'm so sorry. Alright, well. I will say, this is a very unusually sized table, I would say. It's the Bass table from Crate and Barrel. We actually got all of this primarily as a wedding gift and some of the extra chairs as belated birthday gifts that year we got married. But no matter what, I always feel like it never drapes the way that I want it to. I mean, even the tablecloth we have on it right now, I kind of wish the edges had a little bit more drape. So this one, I think we have hope for. I think this one's going to be on the oversized realm. Let's see. Ooh, yep, I think she gonna fit. Okay. So out of all that, we got one tablecloth. I do like it. She could probably use a good steam. But cute and springy.